Navigating between the worlds of culture, trends, and church leadership. There have been times when I have felt caught up in a cyclone of questions. Do we allow today's culture to define our creativity and content within children's ministry? Do we stand up for consistent attendance from our families? Or do we support the busyness in their lives by sending the message that church is an optional experience by how we organize our various activities and events? Which children's ministry trend do we choose to move into our KidMin that will bring a spiritual revolution and change the game of our ministry? How do we share the vision of the trend with church leadership so they take on some responsibility of moving this trend forward? Or does every KidMin leader need to accept taking on the responsibility of carrying the vision on their shoulders? At times, I found myself living between the tension of longing to lead versus coordinating the desires of church leadership, which is a tension many KidMin leaders, directors, and volunteers can relate to. There were many nights I lay awake frustrated, feeling alone in moving our children's ministry forward. I found myself praying, "God, this isn't what I thought it was going to be." There were even nights I found myself begging God to release me from children's ministry altogether. As dark as those nights were, I can tell you God hears and speaks to His children. God wants to bring us beyond worrying about finding props for the Bible story or the amount of budget we should be spending on our upcoming preschool or Christmas play. He knows how difficult it is to face weekend after weekend without enough volunteers. He hears our frustration with not being told the weekend adult service would go longer than expected. It was in the quietness of those nights God showed me this was His ministry, and He was using it to change me as a leader. I thought I needed to change my ministry, but God needed to change me. Becoming a change agent is more than adopting a trend. The children's ministry trends we discover at conferences and in books are great, but if we rely on these trends to be the game-changer solution for our ministries, we can find ourselves frustrated over the lack of church leadership, volunteers, and families embracing these trends to the fullest. These will only be embraced as part of the fabric of your church when you and I lead with the heart of being an influential change agent. Leading KidMin is about driving the real change in children's ministry that will influence the future of your church. Don't miss out on the leadership journey God has for you. Becoming a change agent starts with the heart of a leader. It starts with you. We, Pat and Matt, have over 40 years of experience in children's ministry combined. We've been there. We've based this book on best practices, solid research, and a lot of real ministry experience. We share stories and wisdom learned along the journey of how to move from being a KidMin coordinator to a leader who serves as a change agent, one who has an expanded influence within their church. Each chapter will bring you to a place of internal, or should we say eternal, processing, of coming out the other side different. That separates the change agent leader from the coordinator. The promise of this book is to give you a clear, practical pathway for leading change, combined with individual and team reflection that will increase your leadership, influence, and overall effectiveness. Through what means? We've taken ministry and church leadership best practices, qualified research, 40-plus years of real ministry leadership experience, and practical success stories from fellow KidMin leaders that will help you implement change in your KidMin, changes that can lead to total church buy-in. But why do we need another ministry leadership book? There may have been many kids' ministry and family ministry books, curricula, and other resources on the need for change, the why and the what, but very little on how to actually lead, influence, and implement change. Matt and I believe that regardless of the strategy, the what, KidMin leaders often struggle with how to actually do